You asked the questions, and now it's time for me to answer them. Let's get started. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today we are in a different scenery. We are at the in-laws house, and we are going to be doing the Q&A video. So we had asked you questions on YouTube and on Instagram, and you guys asked plenty of questions, and I'm going to answer as many of them as I can. There were a couple of repeats in terms of questions, like are you going to do this, or what's your favorite this or this. I'm going to keep the names anonymous, so that way I'm just going to answer the questions. But thank you for all who participated and did ask questions. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into these questions. All right, first question is, would Danielle ever start a BookTube channel? Would you start another channel? So I guess this is the reveal video. Danielle is going to be making a channel called Danielle's Books, where she will be the one in front of the camera and I will be the one filming her. We are planning to, I think, probably get like a starting video in the near future for that one. We'll have it linked down below, as well as my other channel, which is tentatively named Zacks Sports, where I'm going to be doing mainly sports stuff, but there's going to be other stuff on there too. We actually just posted a short on that, so I think we did like guess the bowling ball. It was league night a few nights ago, and I threw a ball, and it's guess what ball it is. So
this is still the main channel.
Yeah, this is still the main channel. Zacks Sports is just a little fun thing, because you guys know I go golfing, I do bowling, I do all sorts of other things, and that channel is mainly going to be about that stuff. And then there's Danielle's book channel, so all very exciting stuff that's going to be coming soon.
Go subscribe.
Yes, we'll have both of them linked down below, so check them out and subscribe. Best non-Stephen King movie adaptation of a book. I have two. I would say The Silence of the Lambs and Shutter Island. Both of those movies are really, really good. I just love both of those movies and both of those books. So, besides horror and thrillers, what are some of your favorite movies based off of books? There's only one that really comes to mind, and that's No Country for Old Men. And Of Mice and Men, actually. But No Country for Old Men's a really good book, and the movie is just absolutely phenomenal. So, do you ever use a local library? I love to use mine, but then I feel like when I do, I never get to my TBR. Not usually, but we did just get library cards, and we actually are going to be having a video coming out with us going to the library. So, I think what I might start doing is doing stuff like that. We might take library trips and stuff like that, so no as of now, but in the near future we will probably be using the library. Who are auto-buy authors besides King, Coates, or Hill? Main two I could think of, anything Riley Sager has come out with I've gotten, and same with Anya Alborn. Those are two authors. Somebody who I'm trying to get more collected is Jeremy Bates, but
Grady Hendrix.
Grady Hendrix is another big one I can think of. I mean, I've got a couple. I got a large amount. All right, what are your favorite current shows? What's a movie you're highly anticipating? We have a show that's going to be coming out soon. Only Murders in the Building, season 2. Season 1 was phenomenal. We loved it. And then Stranger Things is just amazing. We are eagerly awaiting volume 2 of season 4, so that needs to get here.
Lots of questions about Stranger Things.
Yeah, I know. I honestly should, maybe on Zacks Sports I'll do a video about Stranger Things. Maybe I'll do that.
On the Zach and Danielle channel we should.
Oh yeah, the Zach and Danielle. Yeah, we got that one too. So yeah, maybe we'll do a whole Stranger Things thing with Zach and Danielle channel. Movie, Thor, Love and Thunder, I'm anticipating that one, and Black House, which is Black Phone, which was released a few days ago. Depending on when this goes up, is either yesterday or 2 days ago. I've not read the story, but I want to read the story. It just seems like an interesting concept. Who's an author you're really wanting to release a book this year that isn't? Nick Cutter, as Nick Cutter, not Craig Davidson. Because so far there's been 3 that I know of: The Troop, The Deep, and Little Heaven, I think is the other one. I want him to dig back into his roots that he did with The Troop, because that was a phenomenal book. So, Nick Cutter, Grady Hendrix is another one who doesn't have anything this year. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully not in Illinois. And I'd love to be a full-time YouTuber, possibly, or a professional bowler. Just gotta see how that career goes, but preferably not in Illinois, and either full-time YouTube or...
That was asked a lot.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
That was another one that was asked a lot, is where do you see yourself in the future, or do you want to make YouTube a full-time gig? And the answer is yes, preferably. But that's all dependent on you guys. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed, because it really helps the channel. So, okay, I got this side done. Do you want me to just this whole page and then... All right. What are some videos that you fully planned to record but didn't make the cut? Themed videos is one of the big ones. I've been wanting to try and dig deep into fantasy again, but it just hasn't really worked out, because I know I want to finish Harry Potter. I'm on book 3. I haven't started it yet, but I need to start it. The Wheel of Time was a series I started. I read the first book and just haven't touched base with it since. And then the Lowest Rated King was an actual video. We had all picked out. We had the books all picked out, and we were going to do it, and then we backed out. Which is 3 lowest are Rose Madder, Cell, and the Tommyknockers, I think. Rated on Goodreads, by the way. And I've read 2 of them already. So my July TBR is going to be coming out soon, and I've got Rose Madder on that. So, how do you keep up with new and upcoming releases so well? It helps me out. Danielle. She pretty much does all of that. Since I don't have all the time in the world to really be looking into things, Danielle fortunately does, and so she looks up a lot of the stuff that's coming out soon, and it really helps. So I love you. What are your hobbies besides reading? What's your favorite horror movie? Stephen King, not Stephen King. Bowling, golfing, video games, sleep, if I can get some. Favorite horror movie is The Shining. No duh. And if I really had to dig deep and think about it, the 2 non-favorite horror movie that is not Stephen King, you would think would be The Silence of the Lambs, but I actually really enjoy Tremors and Signs. Both of those movies are phenomenal, so those would probably be my top 2. Why don't you read more horror novellas? I want Rex. I just haven't really gotten to them. When Zocktober was around, I did a bunch. So that's probably around the time I'll probably dig deeper into doing more of those. Which that's another question coming up, is October, so stay tuned. What's been your favorite video you've posted? Typically anything Stephen King. Those are just my favorite because I've read way more of his work than anybody else's, so it just kind of makes it easier to talk about. So like top 10, rankings, collection videos, stuff like that. So yeah, here, that's the first page. We got a couple more to go, so. All right, on to the next page. What do you currently do for work? Would you ever be interested in doing BookTube full-time? I would love to do BookTube full-time. What do I currently do? I work as an assistant manager at a hardware store called Menards. So, based locally in the Midwest, so I'm kind of stuck in the Midwest for a little bit. But yeah, so I would love to do BookTube full-time. That would be lovely. Again, subscribe if you're not. Would you ever consider starting a horror book club? Danielle and I have talked about it thoroughly, and we want to. We just haven't done it yet. So something we might do, if you want us to do it, like the video and subscribe. All right, what horror book would you be excited to have made into a movie, assuming the filmmaker stayed true to the book? The Troop and My Best Friend's Exorcism would be, I think, absolutely phenomenal movies, if casted correctly. That's the other big thing. Not just about if it stayed true to the book, but if the casting is good. All right. What's a book you and your wife have had totally opposite reviews on? I know you've said Survive the Night. Are there any others? I'm thinking of Ending Things. I gave that like 3 stars or 2 stars, and she gave it 5. She loved everything about the book. I absolutely hated The ending was terrible. I hated the ending. That's just my opinion. Might have worked for you. Didn't work for me. Sorry about it.
You don't like ambiguous endings. In books or movies, really. There's a couple exceptions.
Yes, and the most common one I have is The Mist by Stephen King. And it's not just because it's King. It's a good story. But the movie did have an ending, and my God, that ending was like... It was a lot. Okay, have you finished 11/22/63? I can't wait to hear your opinion about it. No, we were doing a weekly reading vlog, and I was reading Insomnia, and I was going to do it, but I just did not have time. So, not yet, but I'm planning to do it eventually. Maybe this year. Where do you get all your cool horror shirts from? Outofprint.com, Spirit Halloween, Amazon. Those are like the big three. Spirit Halloween, whenever that's, obviously it's around Halloween time. But outofprint.com is my bigger...
They do the book cover t-shirts.
Yeah, they do the book cover ones. So, like, all the Stephen King book covers, like, shirts I have, those are all from them. Except, all of them. Yep. Let's see. Thoughts on Stranger Things 4? You said you're a big fan, so I'm curious how you're liking it. Danielle and I would probably go over that when we do, we're going to do our own channel, the Zach and Danielle one, not just for me. So we're going to be doing that video, because answering that question could probably take up to like an hour or two.
Hopefully we'll have it up before volume 2.
Yeah, I would like to. Because we
like
have
theories and predictions.
So it will have spoilers in it though,
yeah.
So just be wary, because I know I'm not going to be able to control myself with that crap. So, but yeah. Next question. Where do you like to shop for books? Do you still collect King books? Bucket of Blood, Half Price Books, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, eBay. Those are all the big ones that I usually shop for. I still collect... Oh, and then the one that does UK editions. I can't think of what it is.
Book Depository.
Book Depository. That's where I got all my UK editions, which I haven't gotten from them for a while.
Shipping delays.
Yeah, there's a lot of shipping delays with them. Do you still collect King books? Yes, I do. It's just hard to find them these days because I have so many editions. So yes, I do. Will you... here's the big one. Will you be doing Zocktober again? The plan is yes. However, it's going to more than likely be at best every other day. Because every day was a lot, and it really drained me like crazy. It was kind of stressful. We did have to start filming like early in the year. So like, not like early in the year, but we had to start filming in like August and September. So do not plan on doing that at least as often as we did last year.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. Depends on work schedules and all that stuff, so we'll see. All right, this next one I'm planning to do a video with this question. What are your top 5 books, movies, TV shows, and albums? So that's just like with the Stranger Things.
That might be on the Zach and Danielle channel.
We might end up doing that on Zach and Danielle as well, but it's going to be its own kind of video. So for the person who asked that question, that'll get a video. So,
stay tuned.
So stay tuned for the answers on that one. But The Shining is my favorite book, and movie. So that answers 2 of your questions. Do you ever use your physical library? I would love to see a library vlog coming out soon. Like I said earlier, we just got cards, so coming out soon. Can you do a tour of your horror bookshelves? I love the look of them, and I'm dying to see them up close. The video is in the works. We were still trying to get some stuff finalized for that room, and I think we might have just finally got it finalized. But
probably be filming it this weekend.
Possibly filming this weekend, so stay tuned for that. Will you ever do a live here on YouTube? I love reading sprints, and I've wanted some from you. Definitely plan to do it with Danielle at some point. That is the plan. Just don't know when, don't have a time frame, but stay tuned, it will happen eventually. All right, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? Will you and your wife ever return to your channel? What's the hardest part about doing YouTube and working full-time? Do you ever hope to do YouTube full-time? Read more. Okay, so let's answer this one at a time. What made you want to start a YouTube channel? I like talking about Stephen King books. I started collecting them, and then Danielle was one day suggested that we do a bookstagram, and I started doing that, and then people started saying, why don't you do a YouTube channel? So I did that. Mainly that started because of the pandemic. COVID still is a thing. What's the hardest part about you doing work? What's the hardest part about doing YouTube and working full-time? Work is tiring. I would say it's just trying to find the time to read books, being able to read books at a faster pace than just normal speed or 2 times speed, and still being able to comprehend what is going on in the book. Typically, if it's more of like a time crunching thing, then I mainly do audiobook, but otherwise I will do, physical read plus audiobook at a decent pace. But it's really just a full-time job that's really just kind of makes it stressful. Do you ever hope to do YouTube full-time? Yes. That is the main thing, is I would like to be able to do YouTube full-time. That or be a professional bowler. Whichever happens first. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. What do you do for work? How do you stay motivated to read? I work at a hardware store, like I said, Menards. How do I stay motivated to read?
There's always good books coming out.
There's always good books coming out. Stephen King's usually always got good ones. And mainly you guys, because all you guys want to know my opinions on things, and it's just worth it to do. So, what's your favorite horror book that isn't Stephen King? Silence of the Lambs and The Troop, which I guess that was answered earlier. Have you ever tried reading using an e-reader? If yes, how do you find the experience? If no, what's stopping you? I just bought my first ever Kindle, and it works really well. He reads 3 times faster. So I don't have one. Danielle used one. Problem I have is whenever I read, if I'm like just trying to read and like do some other work, I'm usually playing on my iPad or something, or playing a game. So I can't really, if I'm already looking at a screen, my eyesight's already terrible, so I don't want to be looking at another screen when I'm looking at 5 other screens. So just not for me, but Danielle used it and she liked it. But I think she might have lost the charger for it. So let's see. What made you get into Stephen King? Also, what was the first book you read by him? This is the last question. So what made me get into Stephen King was the Shining movie. When I was younger, we'd always go up to a place up in northern Wisconsin, and my great-grandma would always have The Shining on VHS. Would watch it probably 4 times a day. And my dad finally was like, why don't you read the book? And when I was younger, I didn't like reading, so I was like, no. And finally, he got me the book for Christmas or birthday or something like that. And I started reading it, didn't finish it, not until I got to doing this. So I would say The Shining movie and my dad combined to make me get into Stephen King. And the first book I read by him completely was The Long Walk. So a very, very good movie. Well, book, actually. So, all right. So those are the questions you asked. Thank you for asking.
Comment more.
Yeah, comment more if you have any more that aren't the same as the ones I just said. Because a lot of them were repetitive, but you all wanted to know and I answered. So hopefully those were good enough for you. But if you do have more, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later.